This is their biggest test in league play thus far.
You know, Sean, there gets to a point where, you know, that the beginning of the season jitters, the chemistry on the ice, the getting to know the system, that all goes out the window. And at this point, it's December now. So this is when you start to really see what these teams are about. The records are pretty accurate to how they play as a team. I think right now we're seeing the best hockey from both of these teams. It shows what truly these teams are all about. Very excited for today's game.
Puck dropped and we are underway. It's all going to be about a fast start and an aggressive start for Central Michigan. Got a 2-2 tie in the first game against Grand Valley last year. We're not able to have that success against them in the second game as a quick shot is fired right in front of the net from the Chippewas and already starting to set the offensive tone. Not even a half of a minute into this one, but now Grand Valley, the Lakers come back out and through the Chippewa zone. This one being played back in and around as it goes down the length of the ice, and this one will go back for icing. Starters for the Chippewas, James Gleason, Nick Wink, Brennan Martin, Nate Griselle, and Justice Bigelow. That's a good lineup to send out here. And like I was saying in the pregame show, this is a Grand Valley State team that in a lot of ways is like the Central Michigan team. And last year kind of just that upper edge over the Central Michigan team and a deliverance of their own medicine.
Yeah, Justice Bigelow back on forward. He played defense last week, but he's back on the forward line. No Nathan Agar today. Huge loss for the Chippewas, losing their leading scorer, the guy who's really been the only person on the Chippewa team who's been able to put the puck in the net consistently.
Well, it seems like for for Nate Algier, it seems like it's been every single one of his last games he's scored, and he's put the puck in the back of the net. And after we've talked about it so many times that it's almost a cliche at this point, how he began the season on such a rut, could not get himself out of it. And since he put that first puck in the back of the net against Hope, and his second just a few minutes later in that game, he has been on fire and unstoppable. Face-off one back by the Lakers as they try to get something going for their first offensive shift here in this game. Working with it now is Scott Schueneman. Schueneman leaves it back, fires this one, but it gets blocked away before it can find its way to the front of the net. Finding itself back on the blue line and sent out of the zone. This one will go in for delayed offsides as the Chippewas will collect it now.
One thing the Chippewas, Sean, you and I look for at every game is how they do their breakout on their initial passing. These stretch passes from red line to blue line just to get out of the own zone. They've had a lot of difficulties the last couple of weeks. Let's see how they establish that forecheck and establish that breakout. You got to see good passes against a physical hitting team like Grand Valley here today.
Played outside on the corner on the near side boards, and the Chippewas are going back after now on the stick of Dalton Sutherland. Being bodied up right there, and expect physical play all day in today's game. These are two teams that like to hit and get underneath each other's skin. Now the Lakers bring this one inside of the offensive end, trying to pass this one down on the far side boards and bringing it back down on the near side. Body down in front of the net and kicked away before it can find its way to the net of Riley Morgan. Now this one sent down the other way. Trevor Whitehead, excuse me. Being played back now and going after this one on the far side boards are the Lakers as they get this one out of the zone. And having to come up on that one is Cody Ferris to work with it. Now this one being played back in as it's sent in, and the Chippewas will start things back up again as this one's fired towards the net. Now it'll find its way through. Dylan Billings goes after his man, lays down the hit, but loses the puck in his effort to do so.
So far, Sean, the physicality of the Chippewas has been a little bit more intensified than the Grand Valley State Lakers. I think CMU's strategy is to come out and try to intimidate this team physically. This is a big CMU team that has a lot of experience as compared to a Grand Valley team that has a lot of inexperience.
Jeremy Cugliari playing the man right there as the Lakers brought that one into the zone off of the stick of Ethan Doyle. Now trying to work with this on Cal Jesko. Attempts to bring it out. This one played back inside of the neutral zone on the stick of Jesko. Jesko avoids all the men and just sends this one down past the red line for a dump in. Now the Lakers working back with it inside of their defensive end. Having this one sent off of the far side boards and played now by Alex Soroki. Playing through now and trying to bring this one in, but great defensive work made right there from Tyler Carr, who butts heads like a moose right there against his man of Randy Stover. Aggressive play, what can we say? It's going to be the theme of the night and expect to hear it a lot tonight.
There's been a lot of physical play, and like I said before, CMU, it seems like they've come out with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. They've struggled the last couple of weeks, and Grand Valley has played exactly the opposite. They've played some very good hockey, beating some really good teams so far this season. They've tied Oakland, if that tells you really how their season's going. So look for CMU to come out here with a little bit of a pissed-off mentality, feeling like they need to prove themselves against the Grand Valley Laker team.
Looks like we might be seeing a knee-to-knee hit right there, so this will be a chance on a delayed penalty, trying to get this one through. Still the delayed penalty continues here for the Lakers. They finally pull their man and get their extra skater out there. Working through, high slot, holding it at the circle, getting it back out to the point, firing a shot, held on to, out of position, and they're going to say that that one was touched up by Trevor Whitehead. And mad about that one is Randy Stover as he throws a check right there to James Gleason. Chips going on their first penalty kill of the night, and it is against the captain Gleason. 16:23 left to go here. First AHA leadership penalty kill of the night for Central Michigan, helping leaders become great bosses.
Yeah, James Gleason at the blue line just gets his it looks like a little bit of a knee out against Randy Stover. Goes down to the ice, a tough call, but the Chippewas are going to go on the penalty kill, something that they've been very good at all season. Looking to go 1-for-1 on the PK so far today.
Well, now we'll see what Grand Valley can do on their power play. Working top of the left circle. Holding it through and getting this one back out high slot. Working in the 1-3-1 right now. Holding through outside of the right circle. Now holding this one through as they get this one up to the circle at the top. Having this one sent back down as they get it up to the point. Point, top slot, holding through. Nearly an opportunity for a redirect, and Whitehead falls right on top of it as Chippewas and Lakers fall all over each other. We're not expecting anything less than this kind of play all night long. These two teams hate each other.
No, this is a clean, and it's a shame that we are not in the same division as these guys, because this is an excellent matchup, and right at the start you see Trevor Whitehead, who hasn't gotten a lot of play recently. Yeah. He's sat out maybe 4 or 5 of the last games and gets a tough save right there, and immediately Dylan Billings and who else but Justice Bigelow is in on the physical play, and that's a great showing there from Dylan Billings. He's a young freshman, comes out here. He knows that this is going to be a tough physical rivalry game. Puts the man right down on the ice. Nobody likes when you got a stick in your goalie's mitt.
Oh, no.
And he shows him who's boss. And I think CMU right now is acting like the Broad Street Bullies of the ice right now.
Well, you just look at these teams, the jerseys even, and they look exact opposites of each other. The black and blue bruises kind of the Grand Valley State Lakers, and the clean white, maroon, and gold. It's almost like heroes versus villains, depending on your perspective. And it's always a good time when these two teams go at it. And like you said, you wish these two teams got the chance to go at it more, but you got to enjoy every matchup they get.
How would you like to see a playoff game between these two teams?
Stop it. That's enticing as they come.
It's like a tease.
Left side circle, now moving this one back. Top of the slot, taking a shot. Whitehead falls on top of it. Early whistle. Puck finds its way to the back of the net, but the whistle was already blown. And once again, scrum in front of the net. This one has Cody Ferris written all over it.
That's a quick whistle, though. A shot goes right up into into Trevor Whitehead's chest. Looks like he doesn't really handle it all that well. It's loose right in front of him. A quick whistle by the officials benefits the Chippewas, and they're going to avoid a break. But so far, Trevor Whitehead, he's faced a couple of tests so far today. He's answered all of them.
Nate Gerzell now under center as this one is won back by the Lakers on the stick of Tyler Stoller. Now holding through. Fake shot over here outside of the right circle. Bending it through and getting their cycling going. Hard hit thrown right to the front of the slot. Still no calls from the officials letting them play. Now this one bouncing. And now we will be seeing something here from the official just outside.
It looks like Gerzell's going to go to the box, and he's not happy about it. Flings the puck up into the ceiling. It looks like he's going to go to the box possibly for a rough.
Yeah, so 106 still remaining on the initial penalty against the captain. This has been a long power play, maybe not in time, but in longevity, and now it's going to be a $1.06 5-on-3 for Trevor Whitehead, who's already kind of looked contested tonight.
And Sean, you applaud the physicality and the aggressive play of the Chippewas, but at the same time, you got to keep it clean or else you're going to go down a lot, and we already know this Chippewa team takes a lot of penalties. You can't put your team down on a 5-on-3 for a minute, especially this early in the first. It's going to kill them if you keep up this play. You can't sustain this type of special teams play throughout the entire game. It's just not going to happen.
AHA leadership penalty kill number 2, and it comes on the same shift as the initial one, the Premier Training and Developing Company. A lot of fans here tonight hoping that their Chippewas can pull off a big win, and it would be an upset against a very good Grand Valley team. Now working through, trying to get the cycling going are the Lakers. Working up the left side circle, back up, now working back on the outside of the circle. Right in front of the net, firing a shot through, kicked away and clearing this one down the length of the ice. Gutsy play right in front of the net and able to come up with that one.
Well, talking with Coach Tyler Catalan already during the week, the problem with the Chippewa defense is right in front of the net is very poor. They have a hard time protecting that crease in the low slot. Getting pressure out in front from your defense, making sure that the goaltender is protected is key number 1 for Tyler Catalan.
What a block right there from the sophomore. Dalton Sutherland, as a rip of a shot was being fired from just above the circle off of the stick of Ben Kowalski. Now working through as this one is still being held. This one finding its way to the front of the net. Trevor Whitehead falls on top of it once again. Chippewas playing tenacious right now. 10 seconds left on the penalty to the captain. $1.05 left on Nate Gerzell's.
I don't think I've ever seen this defense so aggressive, Sean. And it's not just that they're attacking at the point of contact. When they get up to the puck carrier, they got sticks flying all over the place. They're pushing, they're shoving. They're not giving a single Laker leeway for 1 second on the ice. That's the physicality that can help you and hurt you. You got to make sure you're keeping that you're keeping that within the confines of the rule, else you're going to go down shorthanded.
Grand Valley now working with this one behind the net, but the Chippewas find it on the stick of Dylan Billings. Pass back out. This one finds its way back around, and now Cody Ferris has it. Gleason out of the box, and the Chippewas are now on a 5-on-4 as this one sent down the length of the ice by the assistant captain, Cody Ferris. Working, big hit thrown back there inside of the corners. Having this one coming out of the zone now are the Lakers working through neutral ice and coming in on sides. Passing this one back down, top of the right circle, firing a shot, deflected away, and a good block made right there from Billings. Now getting this one back through just to dump this one in. Going after it is Michael Mann. No such luck as this one's cleared back out. 20 seconds remaining on this penalty kill for the Chippewas. So far 1 for 1, trying to make it 1 for 2. This one played back out inside of the defensive end. Lakers working with it. On this 5-on-4, they have not had as much success as they initially had on their power play of a 5-on-3 as this one sent up high and out of play. 6 seconds remaining, and it looks like the Chippewas are going to be able to kill off this penalty and kill off a long 5-on-3. 13:33 left to go here in this first period. It's been a quick-moving game between two teams that flat out don't like each other.
Yeah, Sean, how much would you love to? We already said a playoff game between these two teams would be outstanding. I mean, the physicality of the Chippewas, both these teams, but CMU, like, I've never seen a more physical CMU team right up above us.
Yeah.
But it's the physicality of CMU so far that's genuinely surprised me. I think we've always known that this is a physical team, but it's just the tenacity of their defense and their point of attack is so commanding. It's really something you like to see. But like I said, you got to stay out of the penalty box. That's that key is illuminated here today.
Well, the Chippewas batting 1,000 on the penalty kill right now, 2 for 2, as this one is still being controlled by the Lakers inside of their offensive end. Weird bounce from those backboards as this one finds its way finally out of the zone. Goes down all the way down the length of the ice, and no icing will be called right there from both linesmen.
Interesting.
Now played back behind the net inside of the corner. Trying to work out with this one are the Chippewas. Being pinned up against those boards back there is Bryce Kinney. Now bringing this one out, trying to work through, bodies all over the ice and sticks heading everything. This one's being dumped back into the corner as Brennan O'Malley goes after it. Gleason firing this one quick over, and it's intercepted by the Lakers. Lakers bring it into their offensive end. Calling for the puck, his man in the slot takes the shot. Save made by Whitehead and falls on top of it. He's been tested early and often, but so far he's passed every test he's needed to.
Well, I know that at the beginning of the season there was a lot of times where Trevor Whitehead really had some steady confidence issues, especially after the Indiana game. He was having a hard time staying comfortable in the crease, but I think after a good break he's feeling motivated. He got snubbed on a couple of starts, and now he's feeling like he's earned the time to be in that crease. And what a stage for him to play on here today against a top 7 team in the country.
Well, this is a playoff atmosphere here at Ice Arena. The fans have packed the rink above and in the boards as this one finds its way to the front of the net. Kick save, and holding on to it is Trevor Whitehead. That's full splits right there. And really, you got to say one thing about this Grand Valley team so far in this first just under 8 minutes. His forecheck is suffocating.
Yeah, and you see that with all the really good teams here in the MCHC. The forecheck really makes these teams like CMU, who honestly have a hard time passing, it really emphasizes that issue. And Grand Valley, their pressure and their offensive structure, it's not just been getting the puck in the offensive zone. It's that puck possession. Once they do have it, they don't really turn it over. It's the only time they really have to give it up is at a face-off or at a goaltender free. So the offense right now for Grand Valley has been extremely good.
Now working inside of their offensive zone are the Chippewas and just trying to get something set up as Cugliari's put into the bench by a Laker. This one played back around on the far side boards, and a hit thrown right there from Aaron Grady, not able to connect with it.
Efficient. Efficient was the word I was looking for.
There you go. Now playing back behind the net, the Chippewas working with it in their defensive end as they have most of this game already. I don't think Grand Valley goaltender Jack Lindsay, who has an impressive resume for himself, has really been tested yet in today's game, at least in a legitimate fashion.
No, and you see that kind of with these against these fast, hard-hitting, forechecking teams like Grand Valley, like Calvin, like Hope. The goaltending in the first period for the opposing team against the Chippewas really doesn't need to be that big of an issue because CMU has a hard time getting shots on goal, especially against these teams that really pressure you in your own zone.
Now bringing this one in is Alex Soroki. Big hit thrown there from a 14 to a 4 as Sutherland's able to knock him off the puck. This one jumps up into the netting and out of play with 11:15 to go here in the opening frame. We'd like to thank you for joining us here today on the Chippewa Hockey Network. Tyler Marcotte alongside me. I'm Sean Bednard. Our host, Ashley Van Octon, has Coach Cataline as he chases a very elusive victory if he can hope to get a win here today against the Lakers.
Victory number 100.
Very exciting day for him. Victory number 50 here for him at CMU.
100
we'll get to 100. I'm sure of it. Maybe not in our time.
It seems like it's been 100.
Yeah, well, you know, he's a man worth 100 victories just in the way that he treats everybody when he first comes into the rink. This one being played back inside of the defensive end, back behind the net. Grand Valley trying to break it out now. Almost at the halfway mark of this first period of play. It's been very touchy-feely to start off. Lakers have had their chances, and obviously quite a few of them, as Whitehead's shot saves percentage has probably had to be very high with the amount of shots that he's had to stop. Now Cal Jesko brings this one through the neutral zone and brings this one back into the offensive end momentarily before it's sent down the length of the ice. Now playing this one back around behind the net. Directing traffic in front is Trevor Whitehead as Cody Ferris gets this one touched up. It is just sent more forward by Zach Carr, and now that line will go off for a quick change. The Gleason line back out there as a quick breakout pass develops. Right side circle, getting himself to the front of the net. That one goes completely horizontal of the net, but the Lakers still control it inside of their zone. Now trying to fight off of that one is the always fireball man of Nate Gerzell. Finally sent out of the zone, and now this one is played forward onto the stick of Nick Wink. Wink holding onto it, using his body and trying to use every inch of that frame to get himself in a better position. Now this one played through to the defensive end for the Chippewas, and this one will go back for an icing against the Lakers. 9:55 left to go here in the first period.
Gerzell's going to head to the box. It looks like he might go for interference. So you applaud the feistiness of Nathan Gerzell, but now he's going to spend his second penalty in the box, and he doesn't look happy about it. But you know, Nathan Gerzell, you got to contain your emotions here in a game where you cannot be in the penalty box. So far, they're going to be. They've already had four penalty minutes so far today, and now they're going to have 5 and 6 here coming up in the first period already. But you got to contain those emotions. I know this is a game that this CMU team absolutely needs to win, but you can't do that from inside the penalty box.
Nick Wink under center for the third AHA leadership penalty kill of the evening. It starts off well as the captain sends this one down the length of the ice. AHA leadership, helping leaders become great bosses. Chippewas trying to get something established maybe on the offensive end, as they've not been able to do that yet tonight. See what they can do here on the penalty kill. Obviously the main focus is get that 2 minutes off of the board and get yourself in a position where when that man comes out of the box, you've still got the fresh legs ready to go.
And Grand Valley's had a lot of good opportunities. Look for them to capitalize here on a chance in front.
This one's played forward by Justice Bigelow, trying to get himself a workaround right in front of the net, and he is tripped up. Penalty will be called from the linesman right alongside there, and that will do it for the power play for the Grand Valley State Lakers. Lasted all of 32 seconds. And there comes that word again. Tenacity from Justice Bigelow. Got himself in a position where he had an opportunity, not just to draw the penalty, but to get himself in a position where he had a chance to put a shot on net.
Yeah, that's a tough call for the officials, because right there he comes in. The first thing, if you're looking on that on a breakaway defensive play, you see the defenseman dive. The first thing you look at is, does he get the puck first? And clearly there, I think he did not get the puck. He seemed to get the leg before he was able to slap the puck off the stick of Justice Bigelow. So CMU on a good break, a good opportunity. They're going to go on the 4-on-4 and have a little power play time at the conclusion of this.
32 seconds of power play coming up in a minute and 18 seconds, as now this one's brought through by Ethan Doyle. Saw him plenty last year, and this is a familiar foe for the Chippewas despite that cross-divisionalness. Now this one played back. Gleason goes after and bodies his man up there inside of the corner. Going after it still as Gleason now falls down onto the ice. Lakers and Chippewas, like we said, these are both teams that play very similar styles of hockey, and both teams, I think you'd have to give the speed advantage at least a little bit to the Chippewas, but this Laker team, they're no schlubs. They're no guys who have sand in their skates. They know how to go. This one played back inside of the offensive end, as now the Lakers are able to bring it out of their defensive end into their offensive end. Quick slash thrown right there, and that kind of ruins any offensive play as a double hits thrown right there, and that is going to be a penalty against the Chippewas once again.
That's a horrible, horrible, horrible penalty.
Yep.
That is a terrible penalty. He's coming in, Randy Stover comes in, puts a great hit on James Gleason, and an unnecessary play there by a seasoned leader in there, and Aaron Grady comes in with a terrible penalty. Sean, that's the type of play, you appreciate the physicality, but that's stupid.
Yeah.
You appreciate, he's going in there, this team's trying to be physical. They're clearly trying to play the man. That's just a dumb penalty. You can't do that.
Well, Tyler, I got to tell you, this is reminiscent of that first game against Hope. It's the exact same thing. This Chippewa team wants to outbody a team, but when they're sitting in the penalty box, now on a 4-on-3, plenty of open ice, this is not the way you're going to be able to set it up, and you ruin any chance for a power play that you might have had. So we're now on penalty or power play number 4 for the Lakers here tonight, as they find themselves on a 4-on-3. This one played back out, getting this one over circle to circle and having this one against the far side boards now. Playing this one back down to the red line behind the goal. This one, opportunity for the one-timer. T-Car gets this one and sends it down the length of the ice. 10 seconds remaining on that initial penalty against Nate Gerzell, and then we'll have 4-on-4 for the next 32 seconds before the power play unit comes back out there once again.
Nice math.
Hey, thank you. Public school. This one played back around as this one sent forward by Cody Ferris down the length of the ice. Well, they gave the Chippewas the benefit of the doubt. That should have been an icing call as that one was sent down end to end from Cody Ferris. Chippewas will take advantage of the break. 16 seconds remaining on that penalty against Scott Schueneman. Now played against the far side boards. Touching that one up initially was Dylan Billings. Cal Jesko goes back around behind there. That's a good hit. See, that's the kind of hit that you should be doing. Sending your man cleanly into the boards, working it at about his shoulder length, maybe just a little bit lower.
And the puck's on his stick.
Yes.
Aaron Grady, the puck was way, way, way past. You got to have the puck on your stick.
Now Scott Schueneman in front of that, takes a shot. He hits the goal post on the right side. He can't believe it. Scott Schueneman, one of the best scorers on this Grand Valley team, and he missed a wide open opportunity.
Huge break there for the Chippewas. Unbelievable.
31-second power play left here for this Grand Valley State team. Tyler, that's one of the loudest pings that I think I've heard here at Ice Arena, at least this season.
Well, Sean, that's just miscommunication. So Schueneman comes right out of the box. If you're a CMU defenseman, you absolutely have to know. And if you're Trevor Whitehead, bang your stick on the ice.
Yeah.
Let him know. The power play is over. He's coming out of the box. He was on a break where nobody within 20 feet of him. That was the easiest opportunity he's going to get all game. And a great break for the Chippewas, but Grand Valley just misses an opportunity. CMU, they got to figure it out because right now they're losing the mental game right now, big time.
Well, you can say what you want. Obviously, when you get this many penalty kills as the Chippewas are anticipating killing off this next one as they are back on an AHA leadership penalty kill. But when you're giving your opponent this many chances, it doesn't matter if they score because they're getting that time out there as this one goes down for an icing against the Lakers with 2 seconds left on the Grady penalty. It doesn't matter. It's the mental game. It's the physical exhaustion. They have 4 guys out there going up against 5. That means that every guy has to do just a little bit more work than they would have to do as it was. You have a guy line up against a guy. That's the man. That's how you play 5-on-5. But when you have that extra guy missing, it's not possible for you to be able to cover every single man. So you have to get into more of a zone kind of defense to try and prevent anything from breaking out.
And it's all about momentum. Power plays and penalty kills can swift momentum just like that. And so far, I think Grand Valley has all the momentum right now, honestly.
I believe that to be Jack Lindsay's first save, a 5'7" junior. He's an impressive man. You look at his stats. He's been kind of the journeyman, and maybe his win-loss record doesn't exactly tell the story because he's played some tough teams, a Calvin team that obviously we've already experienced, and there's a reason they're moving up to ACHA D1 next year. But, I mean, this is a good goaltender. He has a fantastic save percentage for the amount of shots and games that he's played. You can't doubt his abilities, and you have to pepper him as much as you can. Jeremy Cugliari works with this one as we are just above the 6-minute remaining mark in this first period in a fast-moving hockey game. Jason Pischke just sends this one down into the zone as now going after it is Cal Jesko. Jesko, this one held into the line from Cugliari, finds its way back down behind the net. This one working around and just kind of screeching at a halt right there behind the net as Tyler Carr loses the hilt of his stick. You're not going to see that one very often, but now coming through are the Lakers. Holding through, low slot, taking a shot, and they score! Brody Vanderlind with his first goal of the night. 5:46 left to go here in the first period. You could only wonder when that first goal is going to come for a pressing Lakers team.
Well, that play just develops off of a bad broken stick. Nothing Tyler Carr can really do about it, but he comes in. It's a 3-on-1 opportunity, and it's a quick shot by Vanderlind. Just buries it right past Trevor Whitehead. And like I said, you get enough opportunities, eventually you're going to capitalize. Grand Valley now leads 1-0.
The freshman forward, 6'3", playing like a seasoned vet right there with his puck control. Held on his shot, found his opportunity, shot it through the window, banged it home. 1-0 lead for the Lakers, 5:46 left to go. Chippewas got to get the sand out of their feet, get ready to go because right now they have been outplayed in almost every facet of this first period, despite it just being a 1-0 game.
Especially mentally, and I think that goal right there does a lot more mentally than it does on the score sheet because you can come back from a 1-goal deficit, but that's a tough goal to give up, and I think that's going to get into the head of the Chippewas right now.
Being played back around behind the net by the Lakers, just trying to be careful here to not turn this one over. It reminds you of that second game against U of M Flint. It was just a 2-goal game, 1-goal game at some points, but the Chippewas were winning the mental battle. In every facet, they were the more impressive team, despite the scoreboard maybe saying it was a much closer game than it actually felt like it was. There's so much of this game. It's such a chess game, making sure that you're able to play against your opponent as this one shot towards the front of the net. Now O'Malley trying to stay back home as this one sent out of the zone through the neutral ice area and played back as it's intercepted now by Chase Wallace. Brought back in now and played right at the center ice stripe. Pushed back into the defensive end for the Lakers to work with. Now they're just trying to get that passing going, waiting for a lane to open, and they might have got it here on the outside boards. Now again, this one sent through, drop pass back, right side circle, top of the slot, and that one is sent out of the zone. Now this one's being played back inside of the defensive zone with 4:35 left to go here in this first period of play. 1-0 lead for the Lakers as this one's held onto by Trevor Whitehead.
Chippewas need to get back into this game. I think before the end of this period, they need to get some sort of momentum because right now I don't think they have any of the momentum, but one thing you also have noticed, that physicality is way down.
Yeah.
Now that they know that if they are too physical, these refs are going to call anything, it's gone way down, significantly down. I think they're trying to be a little bit more careful now, physicality, which is definitely a good thing.
It's about being cautious but being smart. You can't make those dumb hits, and Coach Cataline will preach it every day to Sunday. You make a dumb penalty, you get a bad hit, you don't do anything like that, your playing time's hugely cut.
Yeah.
This one played back down now is Brennan Martin. An impressive freshman works with this one back inside of the defensive end with 4 minutes exactly remaining here in this first period.
And this is the type of game where you expect these big freshmen, these players who have been such a stud for you all season, guys like him, Dalton Sutherland, Chase Wallace, those guys to step up and play their best. The best players play the best under the spotlight right now. This is a big spotlight here at Ice Arena.
And I know it's only early on, and the Chippewas haven't had many offensive opportunities, but you almost wonder if they're missing a Nate Algier type. We saw it last year
tremendously they missed him.
When the team lost Nolan LeClaire for time there for a concussion last year, the offense was sputtered.
Yeah.
It couldn't start, as this one is a whistle far side. 3:29 left to go here. 1-0 lead for the Lakers.
I think Grizel's going to the locker room. He's been very vocal with the officials so far today. Hasn't been agreeing with what they're calling, and he's going to go to the locker room a little early. Don't know if we'll see him again. We'll be sure to talk to Coach Tyler Cataline, and it's stuff like that. He's one of the goal scorers. He's a leader on this team, and now he's in the dressing room and he's not playing. So that's a big loss again for the Chippewas.
Nate Grizel is the leading goal scorer on this Central Michigan team.
Yeah.
He's a fireball, yes, and he gets a lot of penalties, and he gets involved in a lot of after-the-play kind of things.
He's got to control those emotions, though.
But he's a playmaker, and when you have him on the ice, everything's completely different. Yes, he's gotten a lot of goals this season, but his role last year, he was more the guy that was a setup man than a put-it-home man, and this year he's changed his role. That's not to say he doesn't have a lot of assists, and he doesn't have his fingerprints all over a lot of goals scored this season. Losing him at this point is one of the biggest boneheaded mistakes if this is his night.
Yeah,
if that is his impact on today's game, chalk this up as a massive failure.
That's bad, yeah. He's one of the guys, he's a leader in this locker room. You expect him to be a leader visually on the ice and the voice in the locker room. And right now, he's in the locker room. We don't even know if he's going to come back. I assume initially he won't, because that if they give him a penalty, that's his third penalty of the game.
I will always praise Nathan Grizel because I think he's one of the most dynamic players on this CMU offense. But right now, it's making it really hard for me to defend it. If you're going to be making this kind of mistakes against this kind of team, I don't know. This one being played back through now inside of neutral ice. Chippewas need some kind of spark with just over 3 minutes left to go here in this first period. 1-0 lead for the Lakers as they come in now on the stick of Scott Schueniman back behind the net. Trying to dig this one out and able to do it against a very physical Tyler Carr. Now drop back from Ryan Tyre, push back over to Dalton Sutherland, who gets it out to Aaron Grady. Grady working back behind the net before he lost it off of his stick. Now this one held in at the line momentarily, and it is being played back through by Jeremy Cugliari. Being played back inside the defensive end where the Lakers will control it and try and set things back up on their breakout. This one held in now by Dalton Sutherland. Calling for it back on the blue line is Cody Ferris. Lakers come up with it and get this one as far as out of the zone before it is dumped back in. Chippewas will have to get themselves back on sides. 2:25 left to go here in this first period. Now this one being brought through the neutral zone. Working with this one and just sending it back inside of their defensive end. Chippewas holding it. Send this one down the length of the ice, and this one will go back down for an icing with just over 2 minutes left to go here in this first period.
Again, Chippewas, they got to establish some sort of offense right now. They're struggling to connect on these stretch passes, which is something we've seen from this team for a majority of this season. It was something we saw last season, but against a team like Grand Valley that's going to pressure you initially on every single pass, you got to be just that much more accurate on all these passes.
Play being worked now along the far side boards for the Chippewas inside of their defensive end. Zach Carr working with it behind the net, tries a breakout pass, gets it out past the blue line, but that's kind of been the story of these last 2 seasons on breakout passes like that one, trying to go end to end, trying to go zone to zone. It doesn't really work for the Chippewa team, and when it does, when the breakout's working beautifully, it's great. Now working back, still behind that net. Dylan Billings has it on his stick. Just under 2 minutes left to go here in this first period of play. Cody Ferris coming through neutral ice with it now. Dumps this one in past the red center ice stripe. Now going after it on his own accord. Jason Pischke has this one. Working back behind the net. Opportunity right in front of the net. Blocked away by Jack Lindsay. Incredible save. Now this one being played back inside of the neutral zone. Having it as James Gleason. Tries the forward pass right there. This will go down the length of the ice, but not back for an icing as Zach Carr goes after it. Held in at the blue line by Chase Wallace and gets its way out of the zone as Martin goes back after it. Martin gets this one over to Gleason. Gleason trying to break this one through neutral ice, comes past the center ice stripe and gets it down to Wallace. Wallace not able to control it initially as this one finds its way onto a Grand Valley stick, and they send this one out of their zone. Now coming in past the blue line inside of their offensive end, firing a shot, whiff of a shot right there as the stick was lifted momentarily. Whitehead falls on top of it with a perfect 48 left to go here in the first.
So Ricky Koval comes in flying into the offensive zone with some speed, and he's unable to get a shot on net. But you know, Trevor he's played pretty well so far today. He's let in obviously one tough goal, but it's a 3-on-1. Nothing you can really do about that one. It's a tough position to put your goaltender in, but he's been pretty good so far today, and you just hope that the team in front of him starts to pick up their energy so far today.
Well, you can't complain about the play of Trevor Whitehead, especially for this being his first start in some time. Penalties, it's a broken record thing. It's not even worth it to almost say it at this point with how often it happens. Now this one being played back around on the right side. Having this one held in are the Lakers, but it is intercepted by the Chippewas with 25 seconds to go here. Played at neutral ice and held on to momentarily for the Chippewas as Nick Wink tried to use the inches of his body frame against a much bigger man for the Lakers. Justice Bigelow dumps this one back around behind the net. Leaves it back for Cugliari, who pins his man against the boards. 10 seconds to go here. Chippewas trying to avoid allowing another one to come in. This one right in front of the net, firing a shot, deflected away. 5-hole save made right there from Trevor Whitehead. 2 seconds, and that'll do it for the first period of play. Chippewas were manhandled in that first period by the Lakers. Lucky to be leaving this period with only a